Being gay needs a fresh, new, spiritual perspective. Come on. I feel like we've been craving it. We've been needing it. Especially the last few hundred years. Clearly, the voices of the current LGBT rainbow mafia needs some spiritual guidance. They need some unconditional love because they're clearly in so much pain, so much victimhood, so much identification with their suffering that they don't realize that there's something higher. There's a higher calling to all their pain and suffering that can be transcended into healing, love, gentleness, tenderness, non judgment, unconditional love. They don't realize that. They're not aware of that because their immaturity still rules their life. And that's okay. There's no judgment. It's just it's just saying the truth. So this last week I was reading this awesome book called Wolf Song by TJ Klune. It opened me up to this fresh new perspective that, hold on, wait a minute, homosexuals need spirituality. We've been so shut out, so cut off from divinity that we need to rebuild that bridge that was taken from us, or we believe that it was taken from us, or we didn't feel like we were worthy of it for a longest time. So that's why when I asked myself, just jokingly, is being gay wrong or bad? Oh my god, the immediate response I receive from my body, from God, or in this instance, I don't mean God in Christianity or in any dogmatic sense. I just use that word to describe unconditional love. So, what I received from this impression was God tilting God's head, God looking at me and chuckling and laughing. Not to make fun of me, but because the question is so silly. And I had this immediate sense of being gay just is. And that's such a weird phrase if you've never ever heard the phrase just is. And I'm still decoding what that means or allowing that to percolate how it needs to percolate in my body. But for the most part, those sort of impressions you get intuitively don't always have a clear explanation that the mind can grasp onto. And so I'll do my best to explain what I received. So imagine, before we get to understanding just is, we need to understand just be. In the modern age, just be is hard for a lot of people because there's constant stimulation, constant information, there's addictions, there's overthinking, there's anxiety, there's depression, there's so many distractions that don't give the mind a pause, a break, a breath of fresh air. So I can understand why just is hard to understand because we don't, for the most part, American society doesn't experience just be. We're in a constant state of running on a hamster wheel. So just for a moment, consider and ask yourself this. Have you ever been so immersed in activity, or you're playing, or you're relaxing, or you're doing something so creative that Time and space doesn't exist. It's just you and your breath. And that's it. It's no thought, no effort. And it's peaceful and simple. That is just being. That's our natural state. I should say, that's the natural soul state. When it's all effortless. And in that state, we get to understand, oh, I'm just being. This just is. This just is. It all is just is. The universe just is. And I know that sounds crazy, but we're conditioned to experience a life and the world that we live in with logic, rationalization, explanation. We have to explain the magic that exists. We have to explain every facet of our reality with our minds, or we won't feel safe. Or the phrase seeing is believing comes to mind, especially we have to have evidence for why this thing exists. You know, the dogmatic scientism that rules majority of American society. Or I don't know if it's majority anymore, but it's definitely American pop culture, where it's this belief that there has to be a reason that this happens. There has to be. If I don't have the facts, then I can't feel safe. Follow the science, they say. So, with that mentality where it's an attachment-based belief system where if I don't have this, then I can't feel safe. Attachment. Super simple. So in that space, yeah, the mind's constantly being like, okay, there has to be a reason I'm gay. There has to be, because otherwise I don't feel safe. The divinity within gay people is screaming. Or shining, I should say. Because for a long time, like I said earlier, it's been suppressed. We've been seen as different. So we've been put through hell historically because we were seen as different. And so we taken on the collective belief that there's something wrong with us. And through that belief, there are these wounded inner children that need to be seen, that need to be heard. And we are so divine that we get to witness and hear these wounded aspects within ourselves and give them love, give them a voice. And through giving a voice, we heal this gay expression that moves through us as natural as air does. The body just knows how to be attracted, what to be attracted to. The body is so simple because it's so divinely created that we don't even have to think hard about liking. And for me, liking a man is instant. I don't have to think about, oh, is he cute or not? Within less than a second, it's like, nope, he isn't the one. I don't want him near me. Or, oh my god, he's really attractive. For women, it's like, no, please, no. I don't want to look at women sexually. It's just not doesn't resonate with my body. My body is like, this is a no. It's a full body no. Versus when I see a man that I'm attracted to, it's a yes. My body says yes to men. My body gets aroused by men, excited by men. And then there's no thinking behind it. There's no need to analyze, overthink, and complicate it because it just is. It just flows and moves through my body. We all have sexual energy coursing through us. That's the gift of puberty. It gives us this ability to create divinely. Sexual energy is creative energy. So, being gay is no different in the sense that we get to create. It's creative energy, like God energy flowing through us, ready to explore it with the same sex. It's beautiful. It's so beautiful. And if you want to read more about this, I wrote a Substack post linked in the comments, and I go a little bit more in depth. For some reason, when I do video form, I don't fully express what I need to express. It just, certain different things come out when I'm doing video versus when I'm writing. It's all there, and it's a lot easier. So if you're interested, please check that out. It might be interesting. I know there's more flowing through me that wants to come out about spirituality and being gay, because this bridge needs to be rebuilt. There has been so much dogma and wounding and pain that has broken this bridge between God and homosexuality that we need to rebuild it. We need to rebuild this rainbow bridge and connect ourselves back to divinity. It's here, it's present, it's gonna take some healing, of course, but it's possible. I'm starting it. I'm starting with the phrase, to speak to my inner children, you're allowed to be gay in my body. And that just simply starts the process of understanding being gay just is.